It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, locally owned and operated right here in Mountain Home.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It is Thursday, January 30th, 2020. It's 7 a.m. Can you believe January's almost gone?
Oh, but I'm ready for January to be gone.
I am too.
It's just kind of a miserable month.
Yeah, I agree. Is that your mic stand? WD-40 squirt. I am too. You know, February's fickle. It could be either extremely cold and snowy,
Sure.
or it could be warm and sunny and stormy.
But there's also the light at the end of the tunnel in February. You know you're getting close.
To spring.
And January is the short days, gray skies, overcast, drizzle, blah.
Blah.
Are we ever going to see the sun again?
I think so.
We will. It's actually high 60s, I think, on Sunday this week. Sunny
68,
and,
I think I just saw. Yeah.
great.
Wow. It's going to be nice. Anyway, good morning. Welcome Down on the Corner program. And we want to welcome our new sponsor, your hometown Sears store in Mountain Home. I love Sears. Man, I work
Great
for
folks.
I love it. Yeah. Craftsman Tools. They've got Kenmore, Whirlpool. They got all the appliances. They've got it all.
And these are locally owned Sears outlets.
They
These are local
You
community
bet.
businesses.
Yeah. And right now, you can stop by this weekend. Let's see. Stop by this weekend and save big with their Family and Friends sales event. Special pricing on everything in the store. You can't beat it. On-site repair for all your appliances and lawn and garden equipment. But don't forget to stop by this weekend and check out all the deals help you save. Family and Friends weekend event at Sears right here in Mountain Home. Call them at 425-3191. Love Sears.
Good people.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
You can put your phone on silent, or we're going to have to listen to your text messages go off.
Well, I'll turn it off for you. We're getting applause.
Yeah. I
From
don't
the
know.
peanut gallery
I don't really
over
know
here.
if it's inherently a good idea to call out the person who's getting ready to interview you, but it's early, and I'm not that bright apparently. No.
Yeah, listen to the peanut gallery over here in the heckling section. Glad they don't have pea shooters on us.
I was like, where's the popcorn over there?
Yeah. Anyway, be sure to check out your local hometown Sears store. I tell you what, we used to be a catalog sales office, and now they've got this small retail unit. And I can't say enough good things about your hometown Sears store.
Yeah, and I think it's important for people to know too that again, like, these are locally owned businesses. The
Yes.
people that own these Sears outlets, they are local people living in our community, supporting our communities. This is not just some big corporate conglomerate that's indifferent to what's going on. These are local businesses.
You
Right,
bet.
and they J.R. Hightower bought a Ford from Ford and a Dodge from Dodge from us.
There you go.
He didn't go out of town.
Boom.
Brought his
bought
trucks right
locally.
here. Good job.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go. Shop local, keep the money and taxes local. There you go. Can't beat it.
No.
All right. And don't forget about Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. 3 locations to serve you, as you heard Jacqueline say in the introduction. And we have Bomber Boulevard, we have 62 East Plaza, and then we have Baxter Regional. We got a nice new lobby remodeled there at Baxter Regional.
Beautiful.
We got a coffee shop in there. You got Brewed Awakening Coffee, can't beat it. Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. Be sure to check them out. Mochas, lattes.
Love Brewed Awakening.
Oh, I do too. That's what's in my coffee cup every day. I go down and get big old bags of beans and brew it every morning.
I think
David likes it too.
Are you one that drinks? You pretty much could hook an IV of coffee up to you, because I know Dale. Okay, Dale and I are right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Roll the IV bottle around.
Yeah. Then I need a bathroom close because of how much I drink.
And my coffee intake always goes up in the winter too.
Yes.
You know, when it's cold outside, so if it's July and 92 degrees, I'm not drinking coffee after 9:30.
No, you're right.
No, I'll make
But
a
if
pot of
it's-
coffee around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
January, I'll drink it throughout the day, and
I do too.
until 5 o'clock.
I do
Yeah.
too. Yep. Whoa, where'd they come from? Wow, excuse me.
You're all choked up
I'm
about
all
the coffee.
choked up about the coffee. Get me all choked up. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. How's that?
Right?
I agree. Well, okay. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, is not just a motto, it's how they do their business every day. With all our respect. 29 Roller Funeral Homes in the state to serve you, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Here in Mountain Home, talk to Charlotte, Brad, Bruce, Chris. Anybody there can help you. Very professional, caring, loving, and understanding. They will help get you through a very tough time in your life. And so Roller Funeral Homes brings the morning prayer each and every day. So let's pause now for the morning prayer. Heavenly Father, it's so important this year that we as Arkansans look closely at our Supreme Court election. It comes up on March 3rd. Do we want pro-abortion, anti-Christian people on that court, or someone that recognizes Christian values and pro-life as how it should be? We in Arkansas have the opportunity to make our Supreme Court more Christian conservative. First, Lord, help us to educate ourselves on the candidates and what they stand for. I pray, Lord, you give us wisdom and discernment as we vote on March 3rd. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. Want to see if he can do a trumpet too?
Yeah.
Not doing the trumpet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Come on.
I did it last time. Not doing it again.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda's the door for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. It is time to check out the White River.
Beautiful.
Wow. Wow. Look at that beautiful shot. Brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda's the door for all your real estate needs. You can check it out at retiretoarkansas.net. You can log in and look at the live shot of the White River. The bridge is still lit, the 62-412 bridge in the city of Cotter. Wonderful little town. Love the folks down there, good folks down there. You're looking into Baxter County, Arkansas from Marion County. The river separates the two counties if you're not familiar with this part of the country. Little baseball field, picnic area, the Railroad Museum right there in the little clearing. And other than that, you see the wonderful town of Cotter, Arkansas. I love to go down to Cotter Springs and go down there for Christmas, the little Christmas celebration. Man, they had a great time. They had lights. They had it lit up everywhere down there.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Wonderful little town, Cotter, Arkansas.
Cotter's great. And if you grew up in this area, you went to Cotter Springs.
You went to
Oh,
Cotter
yeah.
Springs.
I mean,
Rope swing,
just
all the way.
all the way.
Oh, yeah.
And the first time you get in there, that water's so cold.
Boy, yeah,
And now I kind of feel like such a lightweight because I got in a couple years ago and I was like, ooh, I'm getting out. But at 10, 11, 12 years old,
those kids.
I probably would have jumped in there in January and you wouldn't, the water's so cold already, the difference would be negligible. But now I'm an old man and so I got like, ooh.
That's something.
But I got a challenge too that I wouldn't do the rope swing.
Really?
I don't care how old you get and what station you reach in life. If somebody tells you that you're too chicken to go off the rope, you're going to have to do it.
You gotta do it,
Absolutely.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. For
Be sure to check out the website, retiredarkansas.net. Can't talk today, .net. I'll
go
spit
back
out here in a
to
minute. For those who may be retiring to next year, go ahead and call the Z-Team, 870-405-0793, retiredarkansas.net, and check out all the multiple listing service listings they have and all the listings they have right there. They can help you with other listings. And so
Bob and Linda are great and
betcha.
crack shots at what they do.
And they've got the team set up to help you
Oh.
both in Arkansas and Missouri, Marshall to Mountain Home, Mountain View, Gainesville, West Plains, Sonoma.
They actually
Dora.
just got a nice award recently down in Little Rock. And I forget exactly what it was, but it was a statewide recognition of.
They're going to move that wall again to add more room for the awards. You
No,
know,
that's.
they've
And
got
they're all well deserved.
One office to talk to, one office for the awards.
But Bob and Linda are not
I
letting the
think it was
grass grow.
Pinnacle. I think it was the top.
I think that's what it was,
the
yes, sir.
Pinnacle Award, yeah, top-notch award.
They do not let the grass grow under their feet. I will say that.
Man, they stay busy all the time. My goodness. Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Right now, Mountain Home's at 33, Flipping at 35, 33 at Harrison, Yellville at 35, Salem at 33, same in Calico Rock, Mountain View at 37. Around the region, St. Louis checks in at 31, 34 at Poplar Bluff, 33 in West Plains, 32 in Branson, 12 degrees. They've not had that bad of a winter up there yet.
But they
Normally-
did drop back down.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this time last year it was minus 40 up there. But it's 12 degrees, Watford City, North Dakota. And so not much on the radar. Montana, Wyoming, Utah getting a little bit of freezing precipitation right now, kind of spotted here and there throughout the areas of the northern part of the country. Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky. Well, a little bit right there in Kentucky showing up on the radar. Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, all clear at this time. Check your roads real quick. 62, 412. Oh, look at that. I'm picking up just a wisp of stuff as I zoom in right there. Just a hint. That may not even be hitting the ground. Your highways are clear. 62, 412 west, 65 north-south, Branson, Little Rock. Highway 67, 167 Little Rock to Batesville and Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555 in Arkansas. Clear at this time. Boy, yesterday we had When I scrolled down to Missouri, every highway was affected. But now 35, 49, 44, 70, 55, all in Missouri. I-57 clear right now. I-64, East St. Louis, Illinois East looks good. I-57 at 24 down by Carbondale, Illinois, in good shape. And it's going to be a nice weekend to do some traveling. You know, may go to Springfield or
Absolutely.
goof around.
I mean, only for those that like high 60s and sunshine. I think that might just be on Sunday.
Yeah, it is. There's a freezing fog advisory in western Oklahoma, a little bit of fog in Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas, a little bit in Mississippi and Alabama. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape. And here's that 7-day forecast. For today, patchy fog, then cloudy, high of 41. Yeah, you know, we'll let that go. Low of 34 tonight, 49 tomorrow, patchy fog, then sunny. And then 32 on Friday night. And then Saturday, a high of 52 with sunshiny skies, low Saturday night, 37. Sunday, drum roll please, 68 degrees.
Ooh, very nice.
68 degrees on Sunday. Bring out the turtle wax. You know, come home after church, eat a little dinner, and wax the vehicle. You know, 20% chance of showers on Monday, but after a nice Sunday afternoon, 68 degrees. We're
Dale,
still 61 degrees.
Did I just hear you like, when you get home, you're gonna get out the turtle wax and wax your vehicle? It's 68 and sunny at the tail end of January.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get out the turtle wax and wax your vehicle.
Yeah.
Boy, how's that for
To each their own, yeah, you know. That's
How's that for an exciting afternoon? Boy,
That'll work.
come on over and join the fun, Senator.
nope.
Checking I-Drive, Arkansas, a couple of accidents in Little Rock. That's no surprise on Interstate 30, Pulaski County marker 135.7 eastbound lanes. This one's left over from yesterday. They haven't taken that off at 169.3 on I-40 eastbound there. That was there yesterday. Other than that, just some culvert work and some road repairs throughout the state. State of Missouri. The only thing is around Mexico, Missouri, most of those roads now have cleared up, and then extreme northwest Missouri, just a little bit of slushy stuff on the highways. Other than that, Missouri's clear after the snow came through the other day. And so, wow. They had it in Springfield yesterday, a little bit on Highway 63, I-44 a little bit, and then all the way north they had some snow-covered highways there in Missouri.
When is the last time that we actually got a legitimate snow here?
Boy, it's
in
been a
North Shore?
while. It's been a while.
You know,
3 or 4
last year we had a
years.
dusting and a little,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say 3 or 4 years since
3 or 4
we've had
years.
a 5-inch plus.
I wonder, you know, and sometimes February could be like, oh my gosh, Katie barred the door. I'm predicting we're going to get some type of snow somewhere between, say, the 12th and 20th of February. We're going to get that 6 to 8 inch snow.
My wife will hold you to that.
Well,
'Cause
I mean, I'm
that's
guessing.
what she wants.
But I've seen it before. I've seen warm Januaries, and then, oh, here comes February.
So I remember in March of 14. This was right when I began my run, you know, for the Senate for the first time. There was we got almost a foot of snow, and I was driving back from Dallas and got the last little 4-wheel drive truck that they had, and it took me 11 hours to get from Dallas to Fayetteville, and then another 4 hours to get from Fayetteville back into Mountain Home.
That made for a long day.
Yeah.
Maybe a very long day.
On the community calendar, don't forget about the Valentine cookie sale that supports the Van Mater Senior Center's Meals on Wheels. You can get cookies $1 to $2 each. Cookie bouquets are $12 per half dozen, $20 for the dozen. They have chocolate suckers, hearts of roses, $1 each. You can pre-order through February 7th. This is open to the public. Once again, it's for the Meals on Wheels program, which is a very good program for the Twin Lakes area. And don't forget, we have the Texas Hold'em Tournament coming up. This supports American Legion Baseball. This is their big fundraiser on February 15th at the Elks Lodge. Registered 11. Tournament starts at 1. I have a feeling there'll be a nice dinner in between the registration and the... are you good at Texas Hold'em?
No, not inherently good, no.
Right. You can call Lester White at 421-2006. Lester's been involved in that for many, many years. Good, successful program. And Lester comes in, occasionally does the program, and talks about things with American Legion Baseball.
How long has he been doing that? I mean, just
20, 25 years.
longer than that.
More,
No. I graduated in '98 from high school, and he was well established at that point. I mean, long before I even got to.
Been a long time.
Long time.
Yeah, a long time. Now, don't forget, stop by your local hometown Sears store this weekend. Shop this weekend to save big with their family and friends sales event. Special pricing on everything in the store. Give them a call at 425-3191. They're at 1029 Highway 62 East. They're in the same building with Sherman Williams Paint. They got right there a nice building by Wendy's and just up and back behind Wendy's. So be sure to visit your hometown Sears store. As you notice, Senator Scott Flippo is our guest today. Right after the break, going to be talking some very serious issues. So after I get a cup of coffee and a couple of commercials, we're going to talk to Scott. So be right back.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Start the new year with us. Your local Sears Hometown Store is your destination for appliances, lawn and garden equipment, tools, and much more. Savings up to 30% on appliances. And save 70% on this Craftsman 42-piece bit socket wrench set, now only $29.99. And take up to 25% off tractors, mowers, snow throwers, and more. No credit required leasing and Sears card financing available.
Visit your Sears Hometown Store located right here in Mountain Home.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference. It's almost 7:19. Down on the Corner is brought to you by your hometown Sears store, 425-3191, and check them out at 1029 Highway 62 East. Welcome, Senator. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
It's always good to have you. A lot of fun.
I enjoy
it. A lot
it.
of giggles behind the scenes. How'd you like all those things I sent you?
A lot of laughs at my expense, but I try to be a good sport about it.
Oh, it's funny.
And so, no, the audacity. I told you, don't text me at 6:47. I'm trying to get some sleep, Dale.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's see. Let's switch a little bit serious here, and I want to say 2 words and get your thoughts. Forest Wood.
Forrest Wood. Legend, icon, but all around just one of the most decent, honest, hardworking Christian people you'd ever want to be around. I had the opportunity to attend his service yesterday, and you say a lot about the life you lived by the, when the turnout at your service, and You have people literally from around the country that have flown in to Flippo, Arkansas to go to this service, and there had to be well over 1,000 people. I actually saw people walking from the Easy Mart gas station there on the main street in Flippin to the church, which had to be about a half a mile away.
Is a good distance.
And it's raining, and it's about 38 degrees.
Yep.
And that's how much people thought of Forrest Wood. And the thing that I always really admired about Mr. Wood, and to be clear, I want to make sure that we were not close personal friends. There's a lot of people that knew him much better than I did. We visited with each other on a number of occasions, but certainly weren't, close friends. And he made an impact on my life. And one of the things that I really respected about Mr. Wood was the consistency in which he carried himself, and that he was the same person, whether he was talking to the President of the United States, a waitress at the 178 Club, one of the people helping him on his farm, an employee over at Ranger Boats, and now the Vexus Boats, which he was a part of building up and getting going, along with his son-in-law Randy Hopper and grandson Keith Daffron, who are going to do tremendous things there. But Forrest treated everybody the same. And I cannot tell you there's not one person that ever walked away from an encounter with Forrest Wood that didn't feel better about themselves.
Wow.
And that is a rare, rare gift that not many people have. But he had it in spades.
Yeah. Just an outstanding gentleman.
Supported that community.
Yeah.
We should all aspire to be a little bit more like him and look at the way that he did things. And the unique thing about Forrest was it wasn't his status as the founding father of the modern bass boat, or the fact that he built a global business in Flippin, Arkansas.
When did he first start?
It was in 1968. He was 36 years old when he started Ranger Boats. 36 years old. Married, children.
Went out on faith.
And then in 1971, I believe, is when the factory caught on fire. And Forrest and another gentleman that I believe he was having dinner with ran into the building and got into a file cabinet and grabbed the folder that had about 60 purchase orders for boats, and got those back and was able to work out credit terms with some banks and get up and running. And he was just always very quick to make sure that that people understood it wasn't just him. And the first person he'd recognize was his beautiful bride, Nina.
Yep. What year is that fire? 71?
71, I believe.
Wow. Incredible people.
No, and
totally incredible.
The way that he did things and the way he carried himself, and just really the way that he treated others. If you didn't know who Forrest Wood was, if you just happened to encounter him at a restaurant or at a gas station or at a ball game and you never heard of him, you wouldn't know he was anything other than a farmer with some land out there in Flippin that was running some cattle, and you wouldn't know his status because he didn't wear those airs about him.
Yeah.
And he could walk into any room, whether it was the Oval Office with the president or to a classroom there in Flippin at the elementary school, and be comfortable just being himself. He didn't need the status as this icon, as this legend, as the father of the modern bass boat. He was comfortable just being himself. And I think that's really what kind of made people gravitate towards him.
He didn't put on airs. He just,
which is a rare thing these days with people that achieve, great successes or a high level of visibility.
Yeah. Wow. He's kind of, let me think how to say this. It's kind of how we should be.
Absolutely.
That's how we should be.
Absolutely. Again, I just can't tell you, how many times that I would see him at a restaurant or at the gas station and just observe him interacting with other people and how he carried himself and how he visited with them and just really took the time to be present, to listen to them. Whether it was taking a picture, if somebody approached him and asked to take a picture, it wasn't a quick snap. It was, well, let's get over here and do this, and get over, and then he'd sit there and talk to you for 3 or 5 minutes, ask you about yourself.
Yep.
And if you ran into him 2 years later, he was most likely going to remember something about that conversation and bring it back up, and you thought of all the people that he had met since then and conversations that he had, that he would remember that your 8-year-old was just getting into basketball.
Yep.
And he'd ask you about that 2 years later.
I think the last time I talked to him was at the Flippin Gym. I'd been down there for a volleyball game.
Yep. So his grandchildren going to school in Flippin, and he was at virtually all the basketball and games down there. I mean, just an active member of that community.
Well,
and him
he
and
loves
Nina
people,
boat.
and he loves everyday people.
That's what it was.
And he wasn't afraid. I mean, you got Forrest Wood. Okay, so you had the left front tire goes flat on your truck. He was the guy that changed the tire. He wasn't afraid to get out there and do the work.
Heavens no. And this was like, Forrest was the kind of guy, even at, he was 87 years old. And I guarantee you, if you're driving down the road and you're sitting on the side, you got a young lady sitting on the side of the road with a flat tire out there in the middle of Marion County with no cell phone reception, Forrest wasn't going to sit in his truck and just get on his radio or call somebody. He's going to get out there and change that tire for you.
That's Forrest Wood. That's Forrest
and that's
Wood.
the kind of person that he was, and it wasn't just in parts of his life. It was in the entirety of his life, and his love for Christ, and his and I think that was the center of him. And he just manifested, I think, everything that God wants us to be and how he wants us to treat others and conduct ourselves. And, and never did Forrest have an individual success. It was always, in hearing him talk, a group. I was lucky to be part of a great team.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible.
Makes me wish I knew him.
No, I mean, listen, everybody should have had an opportunity to meet him for 2 or 3 minutes, because, again, I can tell you that it wasn't like he and I were close personal friends by any means, but when I would go, and it might be 6 or 8 months before I would see him again, and he would recount something from a previous conversation, and I was telling you all off air earlier, he called me about 1.5 years ago regarding an issue he was having with a highway in front of his gallery and offices there in Flippo next to Ranger Boats. And the highway department was considering maybe doing an expansion right there, and they were going to condemn about 35 feet of his parking lot. And he calls me and he leaves me a message, and of course I get it, and I call him right back and, Mr. Wood, how can I help you? And he goes, well, Senator, I've got this issue going on, and I'll tell you, I've already reached out to Senator Bozeman and talked to Senator Cotton's chief of staff, and I know the governor's busy, but I talked to his office and left word with him, and but I understand if I want to get anything done, you're the man I need to call. well, let's just be honest here, folks. That couldn't be further from the truth. Forrest Wood had more pull in his pinky than I do in my whole body. And, that was something that was...
It made you feel good, though,
but boy, did it not make me feel good.
You were walking that high off the ground.
The fact that he even thought to call me about something that he could have gone... He doesn't have to go to the governor's staff. I mean, he goes directly to the governor. They were personal friends, and I know the governor thought the world of him, and I talked to him this week and shared his sorrow and his passing and what he meant to him personally. But it wasn't just the Forrest, the icon again, the legend. It was here's this gentleman who is so selfless and giving, is not a demanding person, that does not walk around sticking his chest out, expecting people to do this or do that, or but you do this because of me. That's not who he was. And he broke out the blueprints, and he got out the highway plans, and he had traffic numbers of the volume of traffic and he was very informed on this, and going through all the different angles and elements and why this was unnecessary. And but the fact that when he told me, he goes, I hear if I'm going to get anything done, I need to talk to you. And I inherently knew that was not true. But the fact that he saw me, and he says, and that was Forrest. You are not going to have an interaction with him and leave and not feel a little bit better about yourself.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. The country jumping. Wow. With that, we're going to take a break. I know it's a little bit early. Visiting with Senator Scott Flippo, and we've got more to talk about right after the break.
Great.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands, including Carhartt, Vera Bradley, Urbane, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Skechers, Nursemates, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractables, compression socks, paramedic VDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, and minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
Whether you're a professional...
"731 Vision with Senator Scott Flippo, and I want to talk a little bit about the importance of our judicial races. We have a very important Supreme Court election coming up, and I'm sure across the state there are other judicial elections throughout the state of Arkansas. We have to understand that judicial elections are not part of the general, they're in the primary.
Correct.
So if you're in one part of the state that has a Democrat primary, then this will be on that ballot. If you have a Republican primary, it's going to be on that ballot. Other than that, it'll be an individual if there's no primaries in either party or any of the other parties.
And so
it'll be an individual ballot. But this judicial race for the Supreme Court will not be on, or any judicial race will be on the main ballot in November.
It'll be in the primary, and there's an important thing for all Arkansans to understand and to remember, that whether it's the appeals court, the circuit court, district court, the Supreme Court, we get to vote on those candidates.
We choose those.
We get to choose those candidates. Now, there's a responsibility that comes with, that process of us deciding on who the people are that are going to be sitting on that bench and making those decisions. We have to be informed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very, very important. And and today is, of course, the attention getter in the room is always the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
And it controls the news cycle, the headlines, and if you're hearing something, it's about right now it's about Trump's nominee and how horrible or this and that, and it's the Supreme Court, and people are even your layman person is fairly knowledgeable about at least some of the decisions or some of the things that are going on there, and we need that same level of involvement and focus on these statewide judicial races, because these are races that we have a say-so in.
Right.
And these people are shaping decisions that we'll be living with for generations. And that's very, very important. And they have the ability to overturn laws or convictions, and they're settling things. So it's hugely important. And what I would just encourage people is make sure that you is at least as knowledgeable, and hopefully if not more knowledgeable, about your local judicial races than you are about these federal ones.
Yeah. Bring a picture up. Barbara Webb, running for Supreme Court. Good friend.
Great lady.
Her and her husband Doyle. And if you want experience on the Supreme Court, if you want Christian conservative values on the Supreme Court, here's your nominee, your choice right here.
Yeah. So, and I don't know that I inherently agree with this, but these judicial elections are supposedly nonpartisan.
No, yeah.
Okay, well, I think we all know, everything's partisan. And if you go through, and I don't care if it's a Republican or the Democrats, if it's, was an Obama's nominee for a federal court or appellate court or Supreme Court or Trump's, you're going to see the Republicans. If it's a Trump, they're going to get there and they're going to want a like-minded conservative. If it was an Obama nominated, they're going to want a liberal that's going to pass the muster with their base of voters. And so these are partisan races, whether you want to call them that or not. The important thing to me is that I really want to see, how a person sees the role of the judiciary, how they interpret the Constitution, what they believe that their responsibility is. Is it to, interpret law? Is it to inject their own opinions and to make law, or to decide to overturn something passed by the legislative body or Congress just because they disagree with it? And so, when I was campaigning for the Senate, one thing I would often tell people is say, I'm just tired of politicians saying the same thing. They'll say one thing, anything to get elected and go off and do something else. Or, how do I know that you really believe this? And I'd say, don't just ask a person what they believe. Ask them why they believe it. Because I think the truth is in when to say is, why are you pro-life? Why are you pro-Second Amendment? Why are you limited government? Why are you these things? And it's easy to say in a bullet point that I am A, B, or C, or D things. But why do you believe that? And I think that's
I was thinking the other day, if I ever got in another debate, back in the days of Mountain Talk Radio when we're over there, I would ask this question: why is it illegal to kill a person? Why is it illegal?
Oh, so I'll tell you, because no individual has the right to go and take another's life without just cause, i.e., your life was in danger, the life of somebody else was in danger, but just to go on proactively. And I see a look, it's like, whether it's man's law or God's law, none of us is in a position to go around, taking innocent lives.
No, here's why it's illegal right here. Exodus 20, verse 19. Thou shalt not kill. Now, this is how many thousands of years before Christ? This is God's command. Thou shalt not kill. Right there. So we didn't make that law.
No. Hey.
We didn't make that law.
Kind of like marriage. Marriage predates government. Who is government to define what it is?
Boy, how's that one? You rock, dude. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I mean, that goes back into church. That's even farther back than the Ten Commandments.
And so these are universal truths. We get into what constitutes a man and what constitutes a woman. I would dare to say, and I might find myself in the minority these days, but, it's not how you feel.
Yeah. There's no man 0.3 or man 0.6 or...
I always find it ironic with liberals and, their push on climate change and just any opposition. They almost laugh at anybody that has any, not even say skepticism, but points to saying, well, is that inherently true? Or what about this? If you have any iota of disagreement, then you don't believe in science. You're just ignorant. Your head's in. But when it comes to what determines a man and what determines a woman, now science and DNA and evidence, and that's out the window. That's out the window. Yeah. So I have a hard time listening to somebody say, well, you can decide your gender, but on climate change, with a lot of things up in the air, and a lot of things, well, if you're not 100% on board and see it exactly this way, then you are just some Neanderthal that doesn't know, that doesn't know anything and doesn't believe in science or facts or anything like that. And then you turn around and say, well, what constitutes a man and what constitutes a woman? Well, that's interesting because there's about 230 different variations of what that could possibly be. No, there's not.
There's two.
No, there's not.
Man and woman.
You remember not so long ago, it used to be called gender dysphoria? It was like a mental issue when a person identified as something of the opposite sex. It was a gender, and it was a medical. The medical community uses this term frequently, gender dysphoria.
Really?
And so where I come from is that why do I have to change? And the vast majority of people have to change their working definitions of what a man and a woman is because of how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You live your life and do whatever you want to do, and you can. Hey. Okay, but that does not compel the rest of us to have to go away and stray from something that we inherently know to be untrue.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
That's So
Amen, brother.
you do
Keep
yours,
preaching.
but I don't have to change my definition. I don't have to change what I believe that a marriage is, and it's not a contract of, between the government and individual. It is a sacred commitment that a man and a woman make before God.
Amen.
That is what a marriage is.
Amen. Hey, it goes back, I probably find it in Genesis. What did it say? Therefore shall man cleave unto his wife, and they two shall become one flesh. I don't have time to look it up. I don't have my glasses on. It's in Genesis 1 or 2, I know. But man, that goes back thousands of years. Climate change stuff. Okay, you've got a Ford truck.
Right.
I've got a Chrysler. You've got a...
I've got a Ford.
Okay. Woohoo. Woohoo. 2-1.
Man,
Ford. I got
it-
him yesterday with the 426 Hemi joke,
Oh,
though.
don't come. I'm gonna
But here's
mess
the
up.
thing. Climate change. The thermostat on your truck and the thermostat on your truck and the thermostat on my Chrysler are 195 degrees. This is called normal operating temperature. So go pull the tech books. It's called NOT, normal operating temperature. When that thermostat opens at 195 degrees, your computer goes into closed loop, and that's what controls all the emissions, but it has to be normal operating temperature. Now, how many cars and trucks are on the road right now across this country, and that exhaust manifold is 600, 700, 800 degrees, heat rises, you've got millions of cars on the road, but yet it's 38 degrees outside.
Dale, you might as well be talking in Latin. You do realize that I am not some motorhead novice over here that is directly fluent. I'm sitting here wondering, thinking to myself, it's like, at which point in life in Dale's time does he just think, I want to sit here and know how all this stuff actually works? And
Well, you're talking about the heat that's radiating off of the engine is not warming the
The
earth.
atmosphere. Yeah. So
It's
what is
not warming the earth.
Yeah. So you've got a catalytic converter, you got an exhaust pipe, you got exhaust manifolds plus that engine. The coolest your engine can operate efficiently is 195 degrees. Heat rises.
Interesting. I learn something something new
Right.
every time I come under this program. Usually it's about old record players or cars.
I kind of look at it as how old is the earth? Billions of
Bill-
years
yep.
old. And we've been tracking climate change for a little over 100 years now.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
We think we know what's going on.
So I don't discount that there are things that mankind do that doesn't have an impact. What I discount is the degree and the extent to which the left is wanting to take it.
Like
and
in 12 years, the earth is going to end.
exactly. No,
Right?
well,
Right. That one right there just
that was
made me
when
shut off the TV.
when did those predictions start coming out? 20 years ago. That it's this decade and that decade and this decade and that decade. And I think that it's inherently incumbent upon us all that we do want to be good stewards of this planet and our environment and
Well,
whatnot.
sure
And
we
I
do.
don't know anybody that's out there looking to say, how can we destroy this as quickly as possible? But let's let some common sense prevail. And they got the what's that young lady's name from Sweden, Greta Van.
Yeah.
Greta.
Say Greta. So
Yeah.
a
Greta
bright.
Thunberg.
Seems like a bright young lady, but I see the media using her is because it is a child, and anybody that comes out and opposes that or disagrees or does something, then it makes you appear that you hate kids. Not only are you're a skeptic on climate change, but you hate kids too.
Right.
And that's kind of they
That's
use
how
this
they
to
used
further
it.
this agenda.
Yeah.
And I don't discount her passion for this.
Right.
But if you look around in the past year, if it's coming to climate change, who's the one person that gets about 90% of the headlines and the attention when it's a conversation about climate change?
Right.
And she's out there, we need to ban airplanes. We're going to ban this. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Have you thought through the logistics and the pragmatics and all these other things on how that's, going to work? And it's so, these five people that, you got the people that are in the moderate, which is, well, we just need to, increase admission standards and do a little bit of regulations. And then you got the other fraction over here, which is like, so nobody should be able to have a vehicle. Nobody else should be able to fly on an airplane. And, I mean, get ready for the
Greta
Pony Express.
Thunberg. 5 hours ago, CBS News reported Greta Thunberg applies to trademark her name and that of her movement.
What
Think
is
there's
the
a little money involved there?
You think?
No. And, it's not that I have a problem with it. I think that I think it's a good thing for young people to have their voice heard.
Well, sure.
And to get active in the process. What I think is somewhat despicable is when, entities, i.e. the media, uses them because they see the optics and how that's going to play, and it's going to help them advance their cause to use
she's
this person
17
as
years
the
old.
vehicle
She
to
can be
do
at
it.
this for the next 30 years.
And, and I think that's a lot of what's happening. And that's just kind of how the left works, honestly. It's not just climate change.
What did Ed Bethune say the other night when he was working with Newt Gingrich? How long had Newt been Speaker of the House? What did he say? He hadn't been Speaker of the House 2 or 3 months, and they'd filed 407 ethics violations. And he says, your whole time is spent digging through these allegations. I mean, Newt Gingrich had barely taken the pen out of his pocket when all these allegations come up of ethics violation. He hadn't even opened his mouth yet.
Do you remember the young man went to a school in Kentucky, and he was in Washington, D.C., and there was a protest, and he was wearing a Donald Trump cap. And so there was this brief video of him standing next to, in front of a Native American, and this young man was had a little smile on his face or some sort of smirk, and so the media just runs with it, and this arrogant Donald Trump supporter is stirring the pot, and basically just acting like a jerk, and being rude to all these people, and he was actually trying to defuse the situation. And they're up there to, for a pro-life march. And even and to his credit, the gentleman, the Native American that was in that photo, actually came out and said, no, that's not how this exactly happened. But by the time the media got that story and decided to run with it,
they destroyed him.
That's that old line, the truth gets around 100 times before the lie gets around the world 100 times before the truth even gets its pants on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of thing that happens. And you saw all these organizations. Now, I expect like a Huffington Post or something like that but you're going to have, and to be fair, I don't say that they're necessarily mainstream, but a CNN and ABC, some of these other, they are just right there with it. No vetting, no fact checking, no calling in. It fits a narrative.
Yeah, they just vilify
it fits a narrative, and they will tweak and adjust to make it fit.
They sure will.
I was about to make that comparison with him and Greta, is that we can't say anything about her, but they can just vilify that kid with having a 25-second video. No idea what's going on.
Why? Why they vilify this kid? Because, number one, he's got a Donald Trump hat on. Number two, there's a picture standing in front of him, and I forget what the protest was, but there was a Native American man that had gone in there, as I recall it, to kind of try to defuse it. And so they just happened to come in contact, and both of them were working to calm things down, and that there was no issue
Basically,
or confrontation between these two individuals at all.
No.
But they have a picture where it appears that he's smirking at this gentleman, and they went off with this arrogant Donald Trump supporter that hates anybody, that just hate everybody that doesn't look or agree with them, which is inherently untrue. But that's what the myth that the media perpetuates. That's what they perpetuate.
Well, they want the hatred, and they want the distrust. They're always negative.
Yeah, no.
I mean, look at this now. Let's say that Obama was still president. I'm looking at the stock market. We're right now up 11.60 at 28,734.45. They'd have the red carpet out all over the country for Obama. Oh, look at this stock market. Look at this economy. But you got a president being impeached because he's trying.
No, but it's not just, this is like, all the stories that I'll see online, because I actually make a kind of a conscious effort to watch very little news on the TV.
I do too.
And I just try to read it, because I can filter and see things and kind of filter and so, but the narrative there is always that, well, the economy is only good for a small fraction of the American populace, that, the overwhelming majority are getting held back. But by all economic measures that historically Republicans and everybody uses, that they're all at all-time highs right now. And so you're right. If it was happening 6 years ago during President Obama's administration, it'd have been, look at these liberal democratic policies. We told you they're good for the economy. The stock market's up, unemployment's down, and so Trump comes in here, and no attention to that, no credit to that, because if you give any kind of credit, it distracts from what your overall mission is to undermine and destroy.
Yep. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
7:49.
Well,
Down on the Corner, brought to you by your local Sears hometown store at 1029 Highway 62 East, 425-3191. Be right back.
Whether you're a professional landscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right products.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
For years I've lifted weights, probably 30 years. The last 2.5, 3 years I'd have pain in my back of my deltoid at the joint, and it was extremely painful, and it didn't matter if I lifted weights or what I did. Whenever I pushed on anything, it hurt. Dr. Osgood had told me about this laser therapy, and so I tried it. 4 sessions later, 0 pain, and now I'm lifting weights again with no pain.
7:52. We're talking about the narratives and stuff, the negativity of the press during the break. When you have devices like this and you can get news, opinions from many walks of life, in my opinion, here's what's going on. We're not telling the truth to the 18 to 35-year-old voters. What you were just saying, here's what we're doing. I visited with a gentleman a couple of days ago, and they talked about a daughter coming in for Christmas or whatever it was, and well, why is Trump still president? They impeached him. No, this is an inquisition, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
They're so uninformed. There's no civics being taught in schools.
0.
And so you don't know how the government works. There's 3 facets of government.
And there you go. They don't know how the government works, and that's the easiest way to control a populace.
Ignorance.
Is ignorance.
Yeah, and so what they're getting is 1/4 of the truth, half of the truth. They're not getting the whole truth. When Trump had that general in Iran knocked off, had that been something that happened during Obama, we'd be paying $4 a gallon for gasoline. It dropped 2 cents.
No. Well, here's what really got on me about that not dispute, this guy was an enemy not only of America, but of countless Middle Eastern countries, other Muslims.
Yeah.
I mean, killed without discrimination.
The common people don't even like him.
But he killed American servicemen and women, American citizens, along with hundreds of thousands.
He chopped us up like we do a hot dog in a pot of beans,
And so, they killed, he recently was the orchestrator behind an American contractor that was killed over there. And I appreciate that. What the president says, listen, if you're going to come start messing with American citizens and think that you can kill American citizens without repercussions, those days are over.
There you go. There you go.
That's right.
Yep.
And we're not going to apologize for it either.
No.
And that is what it is.
Yep.
And so, hey, I got no bones or no beefs with it. The world's not always a pretty place where people are holding hands and singing Kumbaya. That's why I want us to have the strongest damn military.
You bet.
That's why I want us to be in those positions. Yeah. But you don't get to go around killing American, citizens or other innocent people for your own personal greed and political gain, which is all it's about is power and control. Those folks don't care about their people.
No. You kill us, you're going to put one eyeball here, one eyeball there, your brains are going that way.
I don't know about y'all. I slept great that night, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Slept
great. Well, and that's why you see so many protests in Iran. They don't want to show it. They don't want us to know about it. But a lot of the youth want that regime change.
They do.
They do. And
they don't want that heavy thumb Muslim.
Yeah, they don't want it.
But it goes against the narrative that the media is wanting to portray here. And, when you control
the Muslim stuff, they actually were sympathetic towards us.
How could you be that way with this guy?
They are sending, tweets and letters of apology about all this.
And Hollywood. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. It wasn't Colin Kaepernick. This was an attack on dark-skinned people.
Yeah, no.
What? What?
Only because it's Trump. Only.
That's the only reason.
If Obama had sent that missile and killed that guy, they
Glory, hallelujah.
They would have put him up on the
you say that Democrats are soft on terrorism, and here we are killing terrorists left and right.
and defending this guy. Defending him.
Yeah. And so, which not too long ago, there used to be one, that might have been one of the few things that the majority of Americans could kind of rally around and say, listen, okay, you're attacking American citizens, you're out there thumbing your nose, and you're plotting to not just harm Americans, but countless of innocent citizens in your part of the world for your own personal greed and power to destabilize an entire region. And so we got that person. All right, that's, good job, America. And now it's not only I disagree, it's I feel compelled to apologize to the family and to the person that, to this general, but what he was a murderer that killed hundreds of thousands of innocent people. Now they want to apologize for his death.
No,
I'm out. And you've lost me at that point, so it's difficult for me to even engage in some kind of intelligent conversation about, here's my point of the disagreement and why no.
Yeah. We're down to 3 minutes. But this time goes so fast.
It does.
And then the Church of Christ shooting in Texas a couple of weeks ago, they had a trained, armed guy right there, took him out.
Ex-FBI agent. He's an ex-FBI agent, and the media still found wrong with it.
Hey.
How do you find wrong with an ex-FBI
He killed two
agent?
people in the church, and this guy takes the shooter out, and who knows how many more people would have died had he not been there.
Right. You know how you find something wrong with it? You controlled 98% of the media market, and you start saying whatever you want to say, whether it's the truth or not. And when you have that kind of control monopoly from Hollywood to the movies, TV, music, to magazines, newspapers, TV news, and you control that much of it, if you don't have anything out there to counter that, people inherently accept it if you hear it enough times.
And that's what the left does. Just say it over and over and over again, louder and louder and louder until they believe you.
That's it.
And it's indoctrinating the 18 to 35-year-old voters.
No, because these are the age group, especially these younger people, where you don't want to be the out. When you're a young person, all you're trying to do is really is to fit in. You don't want to. You don't want to be the odd person out and this and that. And so you start seeing, well, golly, all these other people are believing. I don't even know what I think, but I'm just going to go along with this because this seems to be the way that the wind is blowing.
And that's a problem. You can't do that. You gotta be able to stand up and voice your opinion.
Okay, which I need to do here in the next 90 seconds. Barbara Webb, in fact, let me pull it back up on the screen. Be educated. I mean, this is who we support, but we want you, the viewers, to do your own homework. Check it out. You can go to Family Council, and you can go to the ArkansasVotersGuide.com. Switch back real quick here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's ArkansasVotersGuide.com, and you can see how all the candidates talk about the issues here, but the very important, Senator, take it from here, the importance of the Supreme Court. We got about 40 seconds.
Hugely important. It is the U.S. Supreme Court is making decisions for all Americans. The state Supreme Court is making decisions that are impacting every citizen of this state, and these are big decisions that we will be living with for generations. And so one thing that I will speak to Barbara Webb is She is somebody that understands the Constitution, the role of the judiciary, and it is not to legislate. It is not to inject her own personal opinions. It is to go by the Constitution. She is a conservative. She's a pragmatic person. She has plenty of experience. I'm voting for her. I'm encouraging everybody I know to vote for her, because if you want conservative government and people that interpret the Constitution the way that it was written, this is your person.
And with that, we got to go. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Senator, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.